Hi, I'm Levy Ann Marabelli.
And I'm Jim Holland, and welcome to this edition of TI Squared's Tech Talk. So, Leanne, I've noticed in many of our teachers' Canvas pages that they've added certain menu items, that aren't standard. And so we've seen some examples of these. We've had some secondary examples and some elementary examples. And so if you take a look at this one from, this is Casey Becker's page out of Artist High School, you'll notice that she's put some links to like the our Zoom and Sync class links, and then those two calculators. And so some things that, they access often. So she's made it real easy for students. And so we also have, obviously, we've seen some elementary examples as well. So let's show one of those.
I'm going to show you Anna Pinson, and on her page, she's added a link to Rapid ID since the students have many things that they have to go to Rapid ID to access. And then she's also added a link to Pebble Go and a Safe Search website since she's a third grade teacher. So if you are interested in adding links that your students use often, you can use.
Leanne, I noticed that like a lot of teachers have student self-serve there, a link to student self-serve, so they can go there just real instantly,
So if you wanted to add a link to a resource that your students use all the time, then you can use the redirect tool to do that. So I'm going to go into my sandbox so that I can show you.
Now, teachers would do this in their regular course, right? Not their sandbox. Right. So in any course where they wanted these links.
All right, so to add the redirect tool, you're going to go into settings and then go to apps up here at the top. And then right here where it says filter by name, just type in redirect tool and you'll see it come up. It's this little blue arrow.
And I noticed that it doesn't really say redirect tool on it unless you put you hover your cursor over it.
Right, so that's why I always tell everyone, look for the blue arrow and then add app. And right here, it's going to ask you to put in the URL for the resource that you want. And you can give it a different name. So I'm going to put in a resource, the Math Learning Center apps that have a lot of digital math manipulatives. And so I need the URL for that.
And so rather than typing it in, we would always recommend teachers copy and paste the URL.
So here's the Math Learning Center website. And so I'm going to go right up here and copy this URL and come back to my tab where I've got the redirect tool open and add that. And then it has this first box checked as a default, but it's going to force it to open in a new tab, which is what you want. And so I'm going to go ahead and click add app.
Would we need to show in course navigation?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, and so now I'm going to go look at my navigation.
And you notice Leanne is refreshing there. A lot of times it won't pop up until you refresh.
Right. So now you can see here it is. It's now listed down here at the bottom. If I wanted to move it, then I could do that. I could, drag it to a different spot in the list.
And if you do anything on this page, you definitely need to make sure to click that save at the bottom.
Because I always forget that.
I do too, many times.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back into my home view and I'm going to go back into student view so you can see it as the students would. So now here's that link to the Math Learning Center apps, and when they would click on it, then it would give them this open in a new tab prompt and then take them straight to the Math Learning Center apps.
Thanks, Leanne. That's going to be very helpful. I know that teachers have made things as easy as possible for students, and so we would caution against making too many links there because then it makes the menu too long. But this is a great way for you to simplify things for your students.